Hello everyone and welcome to Quality Odds Games. Today we are starting a new campaign in Rome Total War Remastered Barbarian Invasion as the Romano-British. And the difficulties will be very hard, and I think we want to manage all settlements ourselves. Let's follow the characters, and I think... we will go mostly with the remastered campaign settings. So, without further ado, let's begin. If I remember correctly, at least one of you wished that this would be the next campaign. And if you remember there, the estimated difficulty was very hard. Pretty much the same as the Western Roman Empire. Of course, the difficulties are quite different between these two factions, but I think we have a nice challenge ahead of us. Okay, so here is our faction. The question is, should we go first to Avaricum or should we head directly towards Londinium? But I think since Avaricum is a bit closer, we will head there first. And it seems to be very lightly defended. And it seems we have some mercenaries available. I think these Sarmatian heavy art or mercenary Sarmatian archers are so critical that we want to make sure that we have them. And there is only a family member defending, so we should be able to take it rather soon. And financial situation for now seems to be rather decent. So let's take the city. And I think I will manually control this so that the losses can be minimized. I think our strategy here will be first to drive out the Romans from the British Isles, since we are already at war with them, and then to subjugate Celts and thus secure the British Isles. And it seems our army is relying rather heavily on missiles instead of infantry. That Sarmatian auxilia is nice to have. Oh, there is tower that close. Okay, so I actually didn't notice that. And of course, those Graal Knights are a really nice addition to our army. And actually I think the tower positioning has been changed from the original Rome or from the original Barbarian Invasion. Because I don't remember that those towers were able to shoot at units approaching the gates. I think our main fighting force will be these spearmen and general's bodyguard. And maybe we should bring these crossbowmen too. Of course, it's risky that if we lose our warlord, then we practically lose the campaign. So we need to be cautious here on this battle. And let's try to position the troops so that we can get shots off, but the enemy general will charge on the spears. And one bodyguard went down. They are not coming just yet, and it seems we are shooting our own troops as well. And they are charging those spearmen, it seems. So let's bring in the general to the fight as well. And I think we should be in pretty decent position to take the enemy down. Of course, it would be nice to know where our own general is. And actually, maybe we won't be shooting there. And let's rely on our forces. A clean victory, even though it was a bit surprising that they managed to go after our crossbowmen there. But we have our first settlement. And I think we will occupy it. And our faction leader is Christian. And this is pagan settlement. If we get rid of paganism, I think we are going to have some problems with public order. I think we will go with paganism. And then let's recruit some units. And I think the first one will be Sarmason Auxilia. And what's the upkeep of these guys? Okay, so peasants I think will be our main garrison here. And at the same time, actually I think it's best to move as fast as possible. So basically that means that we will head towards Londinium and besiege it as fast as we can. And it seems the Romans here are looking to cause us some troubles. Let's see if we can snatch Londinium from them next turn and then move fast enough to reinforce Avaricum next turn. And of course, our military is quite expensive, especially these veterani and Sarmation. Mercenaries, Grail Knights. Okay, so there isn't much going for us for financial situation. And in Londinium there is only garrison of 1 Limitane and 1 archer. So it should fall rather easily. And I'm just wondering, maybe the loot in the European mainland would be so much better that it would warrant aggression there before securing our northern border. Because even if we lose Avaricum, it shouldn't matter too much. I think we'll smash the hole there this time, because of the enemy tower being a nuisance otherwise. And I don't think we will need those ramps anymore. And it seems all the enemies are in the city center. So I don't dare to charge against Limitane with the general head-on. So I think our missile units will need to soften up the enemies first. And it seems the enemy archers are finally returning the fire. And I think the city is ours. And we suffered some casualties. So, now is the time to make the strategic choice. Well, not necessarily right away. We still have, money-wise, a couple of turns. And then we need to take care of this enemy army. And I think we will take especially the mercenaries with us. And Londinium can sorry about that. Can certainly raise some taxes, and Avaricum as well. And I think we should build these mines here. And of course we are going to need a ship. We should have enough money for that next turn still. Let's see if the Romans will assault. They won't. So let's join forces here and bring the larger army to bear. And I think the Romans shouldn't have too many places to withdraw after we defeat this army. And my guess is that most of the area in France is not very well defended, as Western Roman Empire is struggling with quite a few problems. Okay, well, let's put those peasants in line as well. And they have Limitane, some archers, comitatenses, and one Sarmatian auxilia, I think. So let's try to do what damage we can with the missile cavalry, but let's be ready to withdraw as well when the situation requires that. Okay, those archers are about to fire. I think avoiding those missiles is quite difficult in this game. So basically I think what I should do is to rely on our heavy cavalry. Okay, so it seems our mercenaries are running away from those comitatenses. And the enemy Limitane are also holding surprisingly well here on the flank. Okay, at least that comitatensis is broken. And I think we are going to have this battle. Well, if you are looking for the positive side of the casualties here, we don't have that high of an upkeep anymore. And even though I think the enemy army will be decimated here, let's wipe out as many units as possible, so that if it survives, there won't be so many men in the army. And at least it seems there are no enemy armies here anymore. So he can govern Londinium. And then I think we will leave these guys to guard Avaricum. And we need to make a ship. And maybe we should get rid of some of our units. For example, these monks. And maybe these veterani as well. Let's hire new mercenaries when we are on the mainland. And I think we can let these guys go as well for now. And from Londinium, I think we could take these Bucellari with us. And maybe we need one more unit of peasants in Londinium. And actually, is it... oh, it's not Christian settlement. I was a bit worried that it is, and there are some Saxons aboard this fleet. That might be a cause for concern. So at least Avaricum is one of our main targets, but there should be another city nearby. Romano-British Riva has been found, and there is quite large Roman army nearby. Maybe we need to wreck this, or actually, let's not be hasty if we need to withdraw. And it seems the Celts are wanting to trade with us and then betray us. So the question is, should we strike at Romano-British, or should we try to get to Avaricum? I guess Avaricum makes a better target. And I doubt we will be able to hold the settlement. So maybe it's best to get all the money out from it that we can. And then hire some more mercenaries here. So let's take 2 Foderati infantries. Okay, the siege was lifted. That's surprising. I think I should move these best troops to Londinium. And let's see if that settlement will hold. Public order in 70%, I think it should be enough there. And Avaricum is slightly defended. Unfortunately, a couple of Sarmatian auxiliaries and 1 unit of comitatenses. So capturing it won't be at least too easy. And I think we need to besiege it for a couple of turns. So as the settlement here is besieged once again, I think we can raise taxes. And we need to wait for 1 more turn before we can assault Avaricum. But capturing it should generate enough money for us. so that we can train some extra troops in Londinium, so that we can stop the Celts' advance there.
Portents are bad, my students! Await my orders! Macerate, Barbarian, Macerate. Legionary Barbarian, Macerate. Units! Legionary cohort! Macerate. Macerate. Macerate, move! Hurry, move! Rapid, Macerate. Legion to the wall! Macerate.
Okay, so the enemy infantry is defending the walls, which makes the situation a bit more difficult here. And at least the siege towers are doing some damage. Maybe if we could turn this one a bit. Every comitatency is taken down here will make the fight quite a lot of easier. Okay. I guess we need to bring these guys to help out in here. And let's bring these Gallow classes as well. And maybe the crossbowmen could be of some use there as well. And if we bring the general here, I think the towers should be unable to fire at him. So let's move to capture the towers here, and maybe we could provide some fire support. And it seems our Foderati infantry is are not faring too well. Okay, both are broken. And I think it's time to start firing those comitatenses. Those guys are wavering already. Let's hope they can keep the enemies busy, at least until these other crossbowmen are on the wall. And you are not to engage in melee. And maybe a couple of volleys from here could turn this battle here into our favor. Okay, they are breaking. Let's have a couple of more shots on them. And then let's see about this Foderati infantry. I think this unit can go to capture the walls up until there. And how many comitatenses there still are? $14. Okay, they control the gateway once again. But I think a charge to the back of these should be enough to break them. Or then all of my infantry will break. Okay, good. And finally, it's time to bring in the cavalry. There is not too much left of those Foderati infantries. And I think we are ready to plan the assault. on the city center. And let's make sure that those towers won't be shooting us. Okay, so that unit went down. And okay, that's quite risky as well, it seems. So we have 2 Sarmatian auxiliars against heavy cavalry of our own. So I think we will try to lure the enemy to fight against us here. And of course in the original Rome they want to be running automatically, but here they will. So it seems to be a bit more difficult to, at least initially, to get the troops going at the pace I want them going. So where are the Grail Knights? And what are they doing? I have no idea. And I think if we could drop some of these, it would be just great. Oh. And from Baldur's Gate I remember that spacebar will pause the game, and apparently that's not the case here. But I'm confident that we will win the battle. And Avaricum will be ours. Excellent. And I think our financial situation has also improved quite a bit. And those 20,000 gold will go to need. So let's see, we can retrain these, and I think we should train a couple of more of Sarmatian auxiliars. Samaropriva is a natural target to take. And unfortunately, it seems we don't have any good troop training facilities here. So I think stables will be needed. And let's see if we can hire some mercenaries. At least these Gallow class and Sarmation archers. Those veterani are too expensive for us. And I think we are going to need some additional buildings too. At least roads will be good. And maybe we want to have archers as well. And I think we will send this unit to scout ahead. So Burdigala is practically ripe for taking. If we send these units out as well, lower taxes a bit, I think we are in pretty good position to move against it. Maybe some mercenaries to man the battering ram. And I don't think there is any need for me to fight that manually. It will be a couple of turns until they are in Londinium, so we need to be ready then.
Prepare for battle. Begin the siege. Settlement under siege, sir.
Can we hire some mercenaries here? Yes, we can. And I think we will take this veteran unit, even though it's dirty expensive. Let's take a couple of those as defenders, and I think Sarmation Auxilia will be our workhorse in the game, pretty much.
Let us end the bloodshed until next time.
Let us not end the bloodshed, since we are doing quite well at the moment. Okay, Eastern Roman rebels has been wiped out. And this should be rather easy battle. I think I will throw the mercenaries at the enemy general. It doesn't matter if they rout, because likely I will need to disband them nonetheless. And of course, if they manage to bring down the enemy general, so much the better.
Soldiers are at the gates! Now they must batter a way through! Our soldiers have done their work well! The battering ram has broken through the gate! Great gods! Our soldiers have done well this day! The wall.
Actually, I think these Sarmation archers actually give us some tactical flexibility. So much for those tactics. But at least help is on the way. And let's just make sure that our general is not foolhardy enough to charge into the middle of the enemies. Okay. That went rather decently after all.
Victory and glory!
And
Rome has conquered!
nice loot once again. I think stables, port, stone walls will be with what we begin. And I think the majority of this army will move against these two settlements here and then against Spain. And let's see our victory conditions. So we need to hold 14 settlements, including Londinium, Avaricum and Avaricum. And we are holding already Avaricum and Londinium, a total of 3 settlements with Boudicala, so at some point we need to move against Avaricum at the very least. But at the moment the situation is looking rather decent. Let's have some more troops there. After conquering these areas here, I think we are having a bit less than 10 settlements, and then wiping out the Celts should bring us pretty close to a victory. Of course, Samara-Briva could be an additional target as it's lightly defended at the moment. But I think this is everything for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That will help a great deal. You can also post comments, give advice for the gameplay, ask questions and so on. Have a great rest of the day. Quality Old Games out.